9:33. Happy Friday, February 11th. It's Bill, it's Jen. We have a special guest in our studio, a three-time Paralympian.
Yeah, Donovan joins us. So happy to have you here. It's tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of the 2010 Olympics opening up here in Vancouver. And what is, where were you a year ago?
Oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Jen. Great to be here. A year ago, on February 12th, I was in the art gallery for the BC Canada Pavilion. I had tickets to watch the opening ceremonies. Unfortunately, couldn't get tickets right into the stands and where they were being held. But art gallery was great. A sea of people, and got to see on the big screen TVs as the torch was finally lit at the ultimate end of the ceremony. What an incredible event that was.
You know what? A lot of people were complaining about the Olympics. A lot of people were excited at first, and then the taxpayers started complaining, and then politicians started making hay. There was a lot of stuff that went down. But overall, the thing broke even, and the city's on fire. I think it's going to be a great celebration, as it's been a year now.
Hard to believe. I was talking to my coworker Anthea this week, and she was saying to me, Donovan, last year this time had so much energy and was planning to do so many different things, and this year is kind of still a little bit of a letdown, still a little blah. But I think that's all going to change this weekend.
You know what else is weird is, and I was talking to a buddy about this yesterday. We hung on every carve of every turn. Every leap through our Olympians were, just amazing to watch. And then, it's not the Olympics anymore, and there's skiing and Garmisch-Partenkirchen or something, and everybody's like, nobody cares. The Olympics are different, and you are an Olympian. So tell us what it means to bask in that kind of energy.
Well, to make it clear, a Paralympian, which for those who aren't sure kind of the derivative of the word Paralympian, it's basically parallel to the Olympics. So like the Olympics, but for people with disabilities.
And your disability is you're blind.
I'm completely blind, have been since birth. For me, having the games come to Vancouver was huge in a number of respects. And first and foremost, I've participated in 3 Paralympic Games as an athlete, and have undergone the mental ups and downs and preparation and racing and all that sort of thing. But I've never seen an Olympics and Paralympics as a spectator. So to be on the other side of that party was certainly something else. I'll tell you that. And I think everybody can attest to that.
The fun without the pressure.
The fun without the pressure.
How did you figure out that this is what you wanted to do?
I was 12 years old, and I had been swimming competitively for, I guess, about 3 years at the time. And I went to Kamloops, Bill's old stomping ground.
Love it.
And that was my first ever out-of-town competition, the BC Games for athletes with disabilities. And I met a couple of athletes there who were on their way to Atlanta to compete in the Paralympics. And I thought to myself, I had heard of the Olympics before, but up until that time, I had no idea that such a thing existed for people with disabilities. No, it wasn't. It'd be unheard of today, because I think there's way more awareness raised for the Paralympics. But back then, it was still a very young movement. And anyway, I found out about this, and my simplistic 12-year-old brain thought, there are 2 things in life that I love to do. And I love to travel, I love to go to new places, and I love to swim. I love to swim my heart out and swim fast and win. Hey, why not combine those 2 things? What the heck?
Beautiful.
And 3 years later, my dad agreed to take on coaching me full time. And the next year, I was in Sydney 2000, standing on a podium, accepting my first ever bronze medal for Canada.
Wow!
If we may, after the fact,
yeah, that's fantastic.
Well done, man.
I actually got it on this morning, or one of my medals on this morning.
Come on,
very good.
Look at that thing. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, take a look.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool. Let's get the
That's
braille.
heavy.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's substantial.
It is pretty heavy.
That's cool. And you were a flag bearer.
I was a flag bearer. That was for me. I was the flag bearer at the Beijing 2008 Games, and that was
amazing.
That was a huge surprise, because when it comes to flag bearers, they nominate 3 people from each team, and then the Paralympic Committee decides the top 3, and then that's put to vote. I was in the top 3, and the 2 other athletes I was up against, one was a bocce player, and one was a superstar track athlete from Quebec. And they both had many more years' experience in the Paralympics than I did, and I thought, no way, I'm going to get it. They're going to get it. Of course, one of them's going to get it. Then I hear my name called, and this bolt of lightning went through my body, and I get up on stage, and a lot of my friends can attest to this, and I'm sure it's the same for you too, Bill, but I was struck speechless. That never happens to me, but I was struck and I got up and said my thing, and 3 days later, that's when the magic was. And
wow.
Picture walking into a stadium with 140 some odd folks in red and white at your back, 90,000 screaming fans in front of you. I had my white cane in my right hand, walking down I had a lanyard with the flag at my left hip, and my poor father was behind me off to the left and say, no, pick up the flag. No, turn the other way. You're walking into that lady. And people take a look at pictures of that after that, and they say, Donovan, man, you look great, man, but Hugh, you looked rather tense.
Your dad looked like he was struggling a little bit to keep it together.
But we didn't drop the flag or cause any international incidents, and all went well.
And did you medal in Beijing?
I did. That's the medal I was showing you there. Is my bronze medal from Beijing.
Okay, that was that one. And your other ones are what?
I have 2 silvers and a bronze from Athens and a bronze medal from Sydney.
So is it gold on your bucket list? Are you thinking of future Olympics?
Gold would be great. Future Olympics definitely in the cards. I'm aiming to go to London for 2012.
Nice.
In terms of gold, at this point in my career, I'm not going to give myself any medal promises. My goal in London is to get on the podium one last time, because to tell you the truth, I'm 26 now. The rest, I'll be 28 in 2 years. The rest of the people I'm competing against are 10 years younger and 6'3". I'm 5'5". So there's a bit of an advantage there, but I'm just going to train my heart out, swim my heart out, and aim to be up there on that podium. And if it's gold, that would just be the icing on the cake.
Tell us about your relationship with John Furlong.
John Furlong is somebody who was the CEO of a place where I do my swim training, which is the Arbutus Club. And I was 16. I had no idea who this guy was. But when I was 16 and in Sydney at my first games, I get an email from him wishing me luck in the Paralympics.
Nice touch.
Yeah, and I continued to follow his career as it went on. Of course, he went on to Vanok and to run these great games. And I've only maybe met the man maybe once or twice, but I always have a soft spot in my heart for him reaching out to me and in a big CEO position. Didn't have to do that, but he did, just as a testament to his character. And I'm actually having lunch with him today. Well, not me having lunch with him, but I'm going to...
You and a few other people.
Me and quite a few other people. It's the Patriot Hearts luncheon put on by the Vancouver Board of Trade down at the Fairmont, and going to listen to him speak and get a copy of his brand new book, Patriot Hearts, which I heard is
it's pretty gossipy. He dishes dirt on people.
I have heard that.
Yeah, anybody that was kind of in opposition to the games after they were awarded kind of takes it on the chin in the book. He's going to be there today, and if you want to, it's $35. Again, it's reuniting hundreds of people. The Jackets Pancake Breakfast starts... Well, I think it's underway now. They just kicked the doors open a couple of minutes ago. It goes till 11:30. And again, John Furlong is the keynote speaker. That's one of several events happening all over the world.
Yeah, a lot of free stuff. If you didn't get to partake in it last year, you can definitely kind of go in and relive it all. Free ice skating tomorrow, music and entertainment down at Robson Square. I think you can rent skates for like $2 or something like that. The Vancouver Art Gallery has free admission all day long tomorrow. There's pancake breakfasts. Remember the hype last year for everybody that was just scrambling and doing anything they could to get their hands on the Olympic pins. They're having pin collectors. You can kind of go and trade them.
People will not sell you pins. You need to trade with them.
Yeah, you need to trade. There's a huge list of lots of events, and a lot of them free. So a good family event taking place today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
And you know what? The Oval in Richmond is going to be the site of a great big party as well. Denny Morrison, an Olympian, is going to be there. There's going to be games, reggae music, and the rest. And the lagoon, Lost Lagoon, as you get to go past Stanley Park, the lagoon's there. During the Olympics, they had a big Canadian flag there. Yeah, and they're going to reinstall it tomorrow as we celebrate what's been an amazing year, the afterglow of the 2010 Olympics. I was so proud of how it came off. And weren't you, as a Paralympian, weren't you proud of how well the city did? There was no violence or no protests. I mean, we came off smelling like a rose.
I feel incredibly proud to be a Vancouverite and a Canadian. There were naysayers going into the games. Even the first week of the games, I remember there were reports on how bad transportation was and what's this about on the podium. And, I think we blew them out of the water. We made this Canada's Games. We owned the podium, and we shown Vancouver for what it was and one of the #1 tourist destinations in the world. And I can't wait to be. I'm actually heading up to Whistler tomorrow on Sunday.
Wow.
Going to be shredding some lines down Ruby Bowl, down Pakalolo. But
see, and I can see it. I can't even do what you do. It's amazing.
Well, you know, it's
we'll
funny.
Go tobogganing.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have their professional guides who I have up there with the Whistler Adaptive Sports Program, and but people sometimes don't realize that. Like I was talking to my friend Amber a few weeks ago. I just met her at an event and we were planning to go ski together. And I said, Amber, come skiing with me. And she's like, oh, I don't know. What? Come on, come ski with me. And she's like, I don't want to be your guide. Like, no, there's trained people to do that. You just come ski with me for fun. And there are folks up there whose mandate it is to get folks with disabilities, such as myself, and people with missing limbs or cognitive disabilities out on the hill. And for anybody with a disability, that's incredibly empowering, that knowing that you can pursue a sport. And, you don't have to take it to the Paralympic level, but just getting out there and doing it, that's what really counts. And that's what BC is all about.
You have such a good attitude.
Good attitude. That's exactly what I was going to say. But you were raised that way, and it was never going to be any other way, right?
No, my parents found out I was blind, and sure, they were grief stricken for a short time. But then they thought, there's nothing we can do. The most we can do is expose him to any activity that any kid with sight would be exposed to, and I thank them every day for that.
And you've traveled the world. You are a decorated Olympian. You've had experiences most of us will never touch, and you're a great spokesperson for it too, man.
Well, yeah, getting lost on Wreck Beach, I don't think most people would touch that
either. You can get touched down there if you don't want to. This guy knows his radio inside out too, man. He is a student and soon to be a master, and great to have you in. Donovan Tisley, thank you for coming down and talking about the Olympics and the vibes and all the rest of that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Jen, and go Canada, go.
Woo! Oh, Canada.
I'm looking forward to seeing Kwachi and Sumi and Miga memorabilia again, other than on the shelves of Valley Village.
Exactly.
Every musician got their start because someone, somewhere, gave them the opportunity.